On September 21, 2005, JetBlue Flight 292, an Airbus A320, carrying 140 passengers and 6 crew, the Airbus A320-232 departed Burbank at 3:17 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, UTC-7 o'clock. The aircraft, which was built in 2002, the name Canyon Blue. It was scheduled to fly 2,465 miles, 3,967 kilometers, to John F. Kennedy International Airport. 15 minutes after takeoff, the passengers in the plane noticed that the plane wasn't gaining altitude. The meaning of altitude is the vertical elevation of an object above a surface, such as sea level or land, of a planet or natural satellite. Anyways, after the passengers thought something was wrong, the pilot rang the announcement bell. Soon after, the pilot broke a critical news to the 140 passengers by saying, "We are facing technical difficulties." Listening to this, all the passengers started to panic. Some passengers said the plane's right engine failed. Other passengers said the engine did not have the power to make the plane gain more altitude, but the situation was way worse than this. Half an hour passed since the plane took off, but they were still flying over California. Once again, the pilot did an announcement, but now stating that, "We are getting some warning signals from the landing gear." And of course, this announcement wasn't going to make the passengers even better. Even the pilots had no clue about these waning signals. The landing gear, which every aircraft lands with for some reason, was giving warning to the pilots of Flight 292. Captain Scott was quite distressed, not being able to figure out the problem with the gear, and that is the reason he didn't want to gain much altitude. The pilot wanted to see the landing gear anyhow, so he would know about the danger, and to do this, he diverted to the Long Beach airport and lowered the altitude more. Long Beach ATC then zoomed to look at the landing gear, and the horror they found was the nosewheel was rotated 90 degrees to the left. Now it was clear that either they crash land or perform an emergency landing. But after that, ATC gave the pilot one more bad news. They informed him that local news channels of Long Beach have recorded the landing gear footage of Flight 292, and now it's been broadcasted all around the world, but even worse, the passengers could see it on their TV screens. Question time: what would you do if you see your own plane on a news channel? What would be your reaction? Comment down. So it has been 50 minutes since the aircraft took off, and the plane was still circling around California. If the aircraft is attempted to land with this situation, the fire from friction might reach the fuel tank, which is even worse. There was 14,000 kgs of jet fuel, meaning the weight of the jet fuel was equal to 9 elephants nearly. With this much fuel, it can obliterate the plane. But Captain Scott was smart. He decided to dump fuel before landing. For that, he flew over the sea for 3 hours, so it means he did not dump, he was lowering the weight of the plane. Now there was only fuel for half an hour of the flight. This last half an hour was very important for this flight. The pilot decided to crash land his plane at the Los Angeles airport, because that was the closest airport. Now it was an emotional moment for everyone. One of the passengers even recorded the entire situation and sent it to his family. JetBlue 292 was now on the Los Angeles radar, and all the emergency crew was ready, from fire trucks to ambulances and even police cars. The tower contacted the pilot and gave it landing clearance to land. After that, the pilot instructed the passengers to be in the brace position. After that, the pilot touched the back landing gears, then slowed the speed, and finally the pilot did front landing gear touchdown. And that happened what we were feared of. As soon as the landing gear touched down, it caught fire. The fire was even felt by the passengers. But thankfully everything became quiet and the plane came to a stop.
Hold the nose.
Seen a lot of smoke, but so far it's still intact. The landing gear.
He's now slowing down as best he can.
End of the runway.
Mighty strong landing gear here. That's the tires burning out there.
All right.
The evacuation started, and one by one they were evacuated. During the investigation, it was found that the lock present in the front landing gear which prevents the wheel from spinning. But the lock broke and the landing gear will turn 90 degrees. The plane was saved due to the airmanship and the pilot's skills.